What is up, everybody? My name is Jay. Welcome back to the channel. If you could take a moment and subscribe to my channel. So what I did today, guys, isn't something that I have ever done before, but it is something that I needed to do, and what I recommend everybody do at least once a year to your reels. A good old cleaning. But of course, before you clean, you gotta do something else. Yeah. You gotta totally disassemble it. I guess you don't have to totally disassemble it. You can always send it to somebody else, but I really wanted to learn how to disassemble and clean my reel. So I've watched a lot of videos and I decided I'm gonna go ahead and I'm probably gonna put either 2 or 3, excuse me, I'm just stepping on my reels here, rods and stuff in the back there. I'm gonna go ahead and make 2 or 3 videos of just how you disassemble, clean, and reassemble your baitcaster. So in this video, guys, I don't know if I did it right. I hope I did, but I'm going to show you guys how to completely disassemble your baitcaster. First things you gotta do, guys, is you're gonna have to take off your little handle side here. So on this one specifically, I got a little screw here I gotta take off first. So we're gonna do that. Okay, put that to the side. And then this little piece comes off right here. And the way I'm putting things down is in order. So that way as I come back, I'll be able to put them back on in the right order. Then you got a little nut right here. Alright, this is a size 10. Well, you might want to make sure your option's on the right option. Just gotta loosen it a little bit. Comes right off. Put it right here. Okay. Then your handles come right off. Like that. Put them next to that. Move your tools aside so that way you're not running into any problems. Okay. Then you're going to take your drag off. Alright, be sure you're cautious of that. I had a washer that just flew off. This is my first time doing this, so I'm still learning all the little parts that are here. So there was a little washer that was on right here on that little gold part, and it was just fit perfect around there. I didn't see it on there. So just make sure you're taking little cautions of, little parts like that too. So that's gonna go right there. Alright. On here I got a little washer. Now this whole little contraption's coming off as one part, but there's little parts inside and I'm gonna show y'all. But I'm gonna take this off like this. So inside here there's another ring. Let's see if I can get it. Alright, so with those little washers that you have there, you want to make sure that they have a little space between them. You don't want them to be flush together because that tension that it causes is what you need. So you want to be sure to keep those the right way when you put them back on there. But we'll get back to that when we go back to reassembling. And put those right there and show you guys this other tiny little piece that you can't even see unless you're really looking, because this grease likes to stick everything on there. So we also have 2 little washers here. Tiny little washers. They're teeny tiny. I'm not even sure if you can see them all. Right. But they're these tiny pieces you need to be cautious of that you have. They stick to these parts because that grease is just making them stick. So put that there. And I'm literally making sure, I'm checking to make sure I'm not missing any other parts. Take off your tension knob. And put that here. Alright. Again, just checking for any little tiny pieces I could be missing. before I decide to get further into this. Alright, second thing you want to do, guys, and a lot of the times you might just want to go ahead and do this first. I just didn't. Go ahead and take your spool out of there. On this one, the way you unlock, you see this little bar right here? You literally just move it down. Pops on open for you, slides out, and you can pull your spool right on out of there. Okay? I don't have any line on this spool because I was intending to put new line on it anyway. Decided, hey, I'm going to go ahead and clean it, so why not? Put the spool over here. And there you go. So that's all that on that side. I don't know, this side's not coming off yet because I got to unscrew all that. So we'll just leave that intact for now. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and remove these two screws right here. And I'll fast forward through this part. Don't you love when screws want to be difficult for you? I've never done this before, so it's not like the screws warped or anything crazy. It's just in one of those tough places. Probably have a better screwdriver I could have used for this job. Alright, there we go. Always double check your screws too, guys, because in some bait casters, the screws that go in are going to be different sizes. Like the first one I took out, it's much smaller than the ones I just took out. So you want to make sure you're keeping them. And then sometimes when you're taking them off the same side, like these two screws can also be two different sizes. Just depends on your bait caster. Keep an eye on that just in case, because you don't want to go putting the wrong screw in the wrong hole and it end up not being right. Alright, there's one more screw right here on the inside. It's hard to see. This thing is very dirty, guys, so forgive me. This is, you know, the whole point of this video, but there's a screw right here that I gotta get out. Man, that screw is dirty. I feel bad for my reel now. Poor reel. Been tough. Alright. I'm just double checking. Yep, see, this is a different size screw than this one that I just took out. You can see them next to each other there, maybe. A little bit better, closer up. So, I'm going to keep these separate. These are on the front side here. This one was on the back side. Just want to make sure we know our differences. So with learning, with, you know, like I said, this being the first time of me doing this, I'm learning where these screws are. So there's another screw that I have to take off. That's right here. It's in the center here. So I got to go in here. Let that pop out. And then I got to go in through this way. There's a screw right there. Alright. Again, trying to keep them all separated, so we don't forget which ones go where. And now I think this side will finally come off. But I could be wrong. There could be another ring. Oh, there it goes, I think. There it goes. Now, that's what I was looking for. I know, right there is very intimidating. I'm intimidated by it, but I've watched a lot of videos at this point. It is gross inside of there, y'all. My reel needs this cleaning. So, I'm going to put this to the side. Right here. And now look at that. That's scary looking. It is very much an intimidating thing to look at. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of tighten up my parts here. Make sure that I'm not losing anything crazy. And we are about to get very dirty with this next step. This is the biggest main part of doing this, and the most important thing is making sure you remember what goes where, because this is going to be the hardest part. First things first, you're going to take that little, of course it's going to gear, there you go. take that gear off. That's right there on top. Came right off of there. That goes there. And then second, it looks like I'm gonna take off that hole right here. So there is a part inside of this. I'm gonna put this off to the side here. I'm not sure if that comes all the way out. It sure does. So, see the center right here? This little thing came right off in the center. And I always double check on the back side, front side of things when you're dealing with grease, because a lot of times you'll have like little pieces that you have no idea were there come off, like little washers. So then I'm gonna go ahead and stick that back inside so I know where that went. Right there. Alright, what do we got next? My hands are gross. This is why you guys need to do this. This is why you need to clean it. One deep cleaning, probably once a year, is best. So, because even after a year, this has only been about a year and a half and it's gotten this bad. Alright, so then this washer, this part of the main gear comes off. I don't see just a bunch of grease stacked there. I don't see any parts, so that'll go right there. I'll put it like close. Ah, so much grease. And then there's another part in there, right here. It goes off like that. And I believe there's even one more down in there, but we're gonna go ahead and take off this main gear. Put that to the side for a second, because I know there's a ratchet on the back. So this part needs to come out of there, but it may be hard. Oh, there it goes. See another part. Okay. So we got part, it's like a buffer almost. Another part, and then another looking like buffer. I'm sorry, I don't have the proper words for you here, guys. I think that's buffer. Like, that's basically what that is it's making sure that they don't rub against each other. Alright, there's nothing else. Oh, I lied. There's another one. And a third one. Okay, keep them in order. Boom, 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 boom. Get your buffer out. I like that word now. Boom. Okay. No more? No more. Alright. Now look here on the back. You see this? That's a ratchet. Oh! And the ratchet washer is right there as well. Okay? But we're going to keep them like that because this goes next. I have to move all my tools and all the little parts I'm not using at the moment, like my spool. So, ratchet, or gear, ratchet, washer. That's how that goes. Alright, then we're going to take off these two little springs right here. That's just, these are gross. This is so gross, y'all. Okay, and then this little pinion and its little doohickey that makes it move in there. Now, y'all see that level of grease and gross on that? All that black stuff on there, that's just grease, like pure nasty. Put it back on, we'll clean it. Oh, yuck. Put that there. Put these together, make sure so we know they're together. Alright, we're getting there, y'all. So a lot of the times when you're doing just a basic cleaning and you don't want to get any further, say you get a little scared and you're like, okay, I don't want to go any further than this because I don't know if I'll be able to put it back together. A lot of people stop right here and they just do their cleaning for this part. They get all the nasty grease, they clean up these parts, and guys, doing that alone will help you tremendously too. So if you're afraid to do it too far and you don't want to disassemble your whole reel, at least try to get to this point. So that way you can get in all the nitty gritty spots and, you know, keep your reel working like new for longer. That's really ideal, guys. Try to get to this point, but we are going to get further with it. Also, guys, when you are at this point, it's a good thing to go ahead and you can like check your button, make sure it all works right, make sure everything that, you know, these little springs right here working and locked and loaded and not broken. You know, that's pretty much what that is. If you're having any issues, that's another reason why people will break it down even further, because they need to replace one of these little these parts right here. But everything looks good in this one. But of course, we're going to keep breaking it down because this is a disassembly video. So next, guys, what we're going to go for is, the way I'm looking at it, is I'm going to go ahead and, because this doesn't look like this comes off. It does look like there's a little E-ring around there. But I wonder if that E-ring will come off. I think that'll just come right off. I don't know if, I mean, I might need to take the E-ring off. There's certain things, there's like little E-rings, like, it's hard to see, I bet. There's a little metal ring right here that'll have to, I'm not sure if I actually have to take that. I guess I'll have to take it off in order to get it off of that area. I don't know, we'll see when we get there. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and take off these right here. Okay, I came off in one little pool there. I want to keep it all together. I'm going to put this to the side just to show you guys a little bit better. Because there is, alright, so, little screw. I'm going to put you, I'm going to come back and start this way a little bit just to make it easier for my eyes and more a little appealing for y'all to be able to see a little bit better. I'm going to start right here with those two little screws. And then, yeah, there sure is. There's little E-rings under here. And this one can be tough because I've heard these things like to shoot off everywhere. Never done it, so I don't know. It's not as easy as they make it seem. And they don't make it seem easy, I guess. Everybody gives you a fair warning how much these will give you trouble. Alright, before I just keep scratching up my part, because I really don't want to do that, I'm just going to walk you through it. How about that, guys? There is an E-clip right here, and I cannot, for the life of me, get this little E-clip off. Then there's another little part and a gear. Now, because I didn't take those parts off, I am going to have to probably clean up a little bit more in between them. But I'd rather do that than ruin the gear and scratch it all up and then have it not working right. So I'm going to leave it like that. It kind of makes it easier when I'm putting it back together too. Just like that. Let's get back to our reel. Alright, definitely looks a little bit less intimidating with that gone, but it still looks pretty scary. Next thing we're going to go for, guys, is I'm going to go for these two little screws right here. Bring off this whole mechanism of the thumb. Okay? Now, warning, be careful, because when you're doing these things, these little screws right here, these little springs right here can fall off while you're doing this, so just keep an eye out where they are, how they go in, best way to put them back on there, you know, where they're, just keep an eye on them, make sure they don't go getting lost. Okay, guys, I'm a little stumped. I took those two screws out, and I don't know exactly what they were for, because I thought it was the one. Okay, so let me just back up a little bit here. The videos that I've watched have not been on a Cast King like this one. They have been on Lew's typically, or like a Shimano. And when you typically take out these screws right here, you know, this whole mechanism comes out. Now, for some reason, this mechanism just doesn't want to come out. And I've, you know, like I could pop that spring out, but like I feel like I'm going to do more damage doing that because it feels forced. And I don't, you know, I've put enough things back together and taken them apart in my life to know that when things feel that forced, that it's probably not a good thing. You know, I know there are some extra oomph needed some places, but like, I'm looking all around here, looking in here. I looked all in there to see if there was any screws, or even if this little black piece popped out, to see if maybe there was something that was keeping it in there. So I'm stumped. Leave me a comment below, let me know, because I don't want to do further damage. So I'm going to leave it at that. These two little screws, I guess you didn't need to take out. I mean, you probably do. There's probably a way to break it down further than that. But because I've never done this before, and I did not watch it on a Cast King, maybe that's what I need to look up more specifically. I didn't want to go ahead and do it because I wasn't sure why. I'm not sure why this isn't coming out. Like in the other videos I've watched, this stuff just, those two screws kind of led to that part coming out, and then this, and there was more steps to it after that. But because of that, I don't want to ruin my reel. I don't want to break any parts. I don't want to jack anything up. Just being on the side of caution. We're going to leave it there because it's not coming out anyway. You can bring out this whole silver part though. Typically it'll come out. The springs will come out too. This little part will come out along with these, you know, this part here. And see, it looks like, it almost looks like there are other screws that are like in the side, but they're in the middle that they're like almost like you could say they are bolted into it. Like it just isn't supposed to come out. I don't know. But we're going to move on, guys. I'm going to take out these little things. We're going to get on to our line eye here and how we get to taking care of that. Gonna need a little smaller screwdriver than this one. Alright guys, I'm going to leave you there with it. I hope that you guys learned something as far as disassembling your baitcaster. Remember, the biggest thing is to keep it organized because I feel like that's going to help a lot. This is my first time doing it. I've never done this before. So like the organization part seems like it's the key to this whole thing as far as putting it back together. I haven't put it back together yet. We're saving that for another video, but I'm doing my introductions and my outros in between because I do want to make these videos for you guys and I want to make them authentic and real. But yeah, guys, so stay tuned for the next one where we're going to be cleaning this bad boy and we're going to be putting it back together. I'm going to show you how to do that, grease it all up, make it run like new. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, turn on all your notifications so you know when the next video drops. You guys know how it goes. If we are out there fishing, we are out there catching, and we are out here just totally disassembling our favorite baitcaster right now. No complaints.